Hey guys, welcome back to the Hands-On channel. I wanted to show you this little jig I'm actually in the process of working on right now. Basically what I need to do is I've got a whole bunch of these crate boards or pallet boards, and they're not straight. This one is actually not too bad, but I don't know if you'll be able to pick that up on the camera or not, but it's got some twist in it and some bow. So what I'm trying to do is make this stuff usable wood in that you can make a lot of, loose fitting outdoor projects with this stuff, but if you ever want to try to glue it up, then you really need a joiner or a, what do they call that, a planer. I don't have either one of those things. Basically what I've got is this circular saw and a little router table here and a whole pile of these boards that I need to cut down for a project that I need to glue up, and I need these joints to be, tight enough so that when I try to glue them together, I mean, you can see there that's pushed together and there's a pretty significant gap there in the middle, and maybe I could clamp that, and suck some of that out of there, but I'd rather start with a straight edge to begin with so that my glue has a better chance to do what it's supposed to do. So that's what I'm actually working on. My wife wants me to make her a little tabletop for this metal table, so I'm kind of working on that, and I thought, it'd be better to glue this thing up and, make it more like a finished product, because once I get it glued together, then I can come back through with my hand plane or with my belt sander or whatever and really get it nice and flat and level. So anyways, that's what I'm working on, and what I came up with is I have this material here. If you saw my other video, I made a fence out of this same material, or a fence extension here, and that's turned out great. I can do a lot of different things, like cutting half laps, cutting tenons with it, and I made this little guy here to go along with it. So I'm trying to get my screen to come back on. There we go, so I can see what I'm showing you guys. But anyways, I made this little guy here. You probably get the idea. It sits on there, and you can attach boards, clamp them on here vertically or horizontally. If they're tall enough this way, then you can slide this back and forth and make consistent cuts. Well, what I wanted to do was make another little jig that's just going to be real simple. It's just going to ride on this fence, so it's only as accurate as the fence setup is. So however, you have to get your blade and your fence to read parallel. But once I do that, basically what I'm going to do is flip this thing. Let's see, which side do I want? I actually want that side down, because that laminate slides really nice on this tabletop. So I'm going to have that laminate side down and this factory machined edge here for my, let's do that. Let's use their edge, laminate up against laminate, laminate down against the table. And so then now what I need to do is come up with a way that I can attach this board and leave some of it hanging over the edge here, because this is what I'm going to cut off basically. And then once this board is attached, I'll be able to just use the straight edge on this board over here to copy that over to this, the board I'm trying to straighten out. Once I have one straight edge on it, then I can go ahead and just run the straight edge up against the fence here, and I'll have two straight edges. So that's what I'm fixing to set up for. I'll come back here in a moment, and it's going to be real simple. I think just to do it down and dirty, I think I'm going to go ahead and just drill some holes in the underside of this and run a couple of screws up, and those screws will intersect into here, into this board, and hold it down right about there. So when we come back, we'll have that set up, and I'll show you what we did. Okay, we're ready to take her for a test run, and I just went real simple. I took a Forstner bit, I believe it was a 3/8 Forstner bit, and I just went down deep enough that I knew that this screw wasn't going to be proud of the bottom here. I put 2 screws in it. If I need more later, I can add more screws in here. But basically the idea is that you just want to kind of eyeball it and get it about where you want it, because it doesn't matter. Now this is going to be your new straight reference line. So you set it up, set your blade up however deep you need it, and you just hold that guide up against the fence as straight as you can. Now again, I made sure my fence and my blade are parallel, so you need to do that also, or otherwise this won't work. but we're fixing to find out. So I'm gonna set the camera down, we'll make a cut. Let's see, a little drill bit here to shim you guys up, get a better angle for you. There we go, that should work. And there we have it, a nice perfectly straight edge. It's as straight as the edge that you know, that you run it up against. Now the only trick is you got to, you know, keep everything in line there and push it through nice and consistent. But now we've got a nice flat edge that's good enough to glue. And even if I had to, I could take a plane to it. If I, you know, maybe I had a little high spot there or on the other end, I could obviously take a little plane action to that and take care of it pretty easily. So now I just got to do all these other boards, and then once I go through there, I'll reset the fence to this edge, and I'll knock off this other side over here and make both edges straight. So that way, when I glue these together, it should work out just perfectly. And also, I just kind of did a rough cut here on the end because I knew that once I changed my edge here, that I would need to throw that back in the crosscut sled and make a perfect 90 on the end here. So if you just do a little thinking ahead, you can do several of these pieces like this and kind of get a little of a assembly line action going, and it's, you know, makes you a lot more productive. So hopefully that gives you guys an idea of a real easy thing to do to straighten out boards. And really, honestly, I don't see why you couldn't, as it's you're only limited by the thickness of the height of your blade there. So you could actually probably do basically do, you know, kind of poor boy sawmilling on this rig. If you know, were to chuck up a log in here, you could, you know, slowly work it around. But of course, you're gonna have to put screw holes in it. But since this is pallet wood, I don't really care about that. In the future, I was actually thinking about making a little clamp that comes up, excuse me, that comes up and over, and then I could just, you know, have some wing nuts or something that I could screw down, and that would hold the pressure here like this. So I may do that, build a little box that kind of just a little C shape here, and, you know, a couple of those even. And I don't know, I may upgrade this so that it's faster in the future, but for right now, this is getting it done. And that's what it's all about, guys. So until next time, we'll see you later. Hit that thumbs up, this helps you out. If you're new to woodworking like me, you know, I'm not claiming to be an expert or anything like that. So I'm just trying to utilize all the different equipment that I have, because I've got some big stuff coming up in the future. I'm gonna have to build some cabinets for the off-grid homestead, and actually this current homestead that we're in right now, I'm doing a bathroom remodel. So I'm gonna be building some cabinets and doing some cabinet doors, and I've been just doing some different things and trying to utilize my equipment the best I can. Anyhow, guys, appreciate you tuning in, and we'll see you next time.